Every once in a while, I have somebody who suggests that I use a certain load board, and I'm here to tell you that I use every load board that's out there. And most carriers do have their own load board, and they also list loads on Truck Stop and the DAT Board and other places like Truckloads and stuff like that. But as you can see here, I've got XPO, CH Robinson, Coyote, 123 Load Board, Truckload, JB Hunt, Uber Freight, Carrier Link, I forget who that is, Freight Power, Convoy, DAT Board, Total Quality Logistics, Amazon Relay, Landstar. I've got somewhere on another screen, Swift. I also have access to several other load boards that what I'll do first is I will check Truck Stop or DAT Board because those are the two most popular. And if I don't see something I like right away, I will switch to and go into these other ones individually and see what they have. But yeah, I use every single thing that I can to find a load. I don't just rely on one load board. I watched a couple of YouTubers who were starting out with their authority, and it was real concerning because they were getting all of their loads off of one board, and I could hear them constantly having trouble, complaining that they couldn't get a load this day. And I put a comment on there, hey, try this load board or try that one. But everybody gets set in their ways, and I try not to do that. I try to use every tool that's available to me. So as you guys may or may not know, I do have a partnership with TRUCKERPATH. It's an app that I use every day and so useful. One of the most important tools on my truck. But another feature of the app that I've been using a lot more lately is reviews of places that I'm picking up and dropping off at. And this is a place that I was at just a few days ago, dropped a trailer off here, and I forgot to take a look at the reviews because I was in and out in about 10 minutes, so I didn't have time to look at anything. But I was just dropping off a tanker trailer, and nobody's reviewed this place yet. But so I'm going to put a review in here. I guess I should. So yeah, so I pulled up at another place I was delivering a load to in Dallas, and when my trip ended, it asked me if it saw where I was at and asked me if I wanted to put in a review. And what I did was I went in, and since I was doing a live unload, I went in and detailed the process of where I had to check in, and then when I was done, how long it took, and if the people were friendly. And so I'm going to start doing that more often because it's kind of helping if we all do it, it helps us out knowing the process and what to expect when we get there. But if you guys are interested, I will put a link to TRUCKERPATH down in the comments below, in the description below. And if you use that link, you can get 10% off. I guarantee it's going to be one of the most useful tools on your truck. Well, let's do a load board look on Christmas Eve, see what the outlook looks like. All right. I'm going to do 160 miles around my house. I'm going to use a van because most of you are probably going to be pulling a van. So let's see what's available. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything picks up today, but let's try to find some rates here. These are all Schneider. Oh, someone asked me to point out the differences between Truck Stop and DAT Loadboard, and they're pretty much exactly the same. You do have some agents who list on one or the other and not both, but for the most part, all the major mega carriers and all agents will put loads on both of them at the same time. The only real difference is something I'll point out when I get over to the DAT board, and it's very frustrating over there. But here you go. You have all these Schneider loads. I don't haul for Schneider. I'm signed up with them. I've done a carrier packet with them, but I haven't seen a rate yet that I would accept, so I haven't done anything with them. Let's see. So one thing I want to show you here is why I've never done a load for Schneider. And I'm looking on their app here real quick, and this is only for power only. I don't look at their load board for van. I don't very much. So this is for power only, and this is why I don't use them very often or at all. So I've got within 150 miles pulled up from my house, and there are lots of loads available, 24. But let's take a look at this first one here from Pineville, Louisiana to Wilmer, Texas. 308 miles, and they want to pay just over $2 a mile. But here's the thing about, if you look over here under Pineville, Louisiana, first you're going to have to go hunt down an empty Schneider trailer at some other city, probably because Pineville's out in the middle of nowhere. And then you're going to have to run over here and drop it to pick up their loaded trailer. That's the best case scenario. Lots of times they'll want you to go hunt down an empty trailer and then go somewhere else and do a live load. But on top of that, let's see. Yeah, it's a good window for picking up the trailer. Usually it is when you're picking up a loaded trailer already. But when you're done, so you have to go drop that loaded trailer, and then at that same location, pick up an empty, and then go take that somewhere else they want you to take it to. It's just so inconvenient. It makes this load that pays just over $2 a mile even worse. And it's just something that I'm not going to try to do. But let's take a look at another one. Okay, so here's another one. Dallas to Missouri. It's 540 miles, so it doesn't even pay $2 a mile. So look over here under the Dallas, Texas. You're going to have to go find a trailer. Then you're going to have to go do a live load. And then drop that trailer and then go take an empty trailer someplace else. So not convenient at all. No rates on here. All right, let's take a look. And Coyote's another one. I've done a carrier packet with them. But their loads, they'll list them on their load board, and they'll also list them on here. But their loads are usually some kind of weird pickup time. Then you have a lot of wasted time in the middle because you have an appointment to drop it off the next day. And they usually do not pay very good. And so I usually pass on those. But as you can see, there's nothing picking up today or tomorrow, of course. Not always the case, but okay, here's a good load. Well, there again, it's Convoy. Coyote, Convoy, and Uber are all very similar in that you can't just go pick up the load at any time. It's not a first come, first serve type of thing. It's usually by a very specific appointment, and then it's by a very specific drop off. So like this one, for instance, it wants you to pick it up in Dallas at 10:15 a.m. Then you have about a 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive to New Caney, and you have probably sitting around waiting till almost 6 p.m. to drop it off, and then of course you're not able to book another load because you don't know how that's going to go. So I haven't done a load for Uber. I haven't done a load for Convoy, or what was the other one? I can't remember. Coyote. Just because 9 times out of 10 they want you to pick it up in the middle of the night and then deliver it the next evening. And there's just even the ones that have a decent rate on them, there's just too much built-in wasted time. So it's at the end of the day, you're losing money. Let's look at the DAT board here, and of course today is Christmas Eve, and what I wanted to point out is not really prevalent today because most of these people aren't picking up today or tomorrow, but there are a few. But one of the biggest difference for me doing power only and looking from truck stop to the DAT board is that on the DAT board, you have these guys like this one at the top. This is probably a loadout trailer. But what happens is there might be 2 or 3 of these trailers, and this agent and about 4 or 5 other agents will list this load over and over and over continuously throughout the day. And doing power only, there might not be that many loads within 100-mile radius of my house already. So there might be 10 to 20 valid loads. But when you have these guys listing these things over and over, because they're competing with each other to get that load at the top of this load board and be the first one on the list when you pull this up. So that load might be listed 200 or 300 times throughout the day. So it makes it extremely aggravating and difficult when they're listing it over and over, and you're trying to find that one good load out of 300. You're sitting here having to flip through this to try to find that one valid load that might be in there. It just makes it very frustrating. And that's one of the only real differences I see between truck stop and the DAT board. Is just the DAT board allows these agents to list the exact same load continuously throughout the day. It's very frustrating. But let's just look at the van loads on here real quick. Maybe we can find some rates and see what we get here. Okay, 4,000 loads available. Let's look at the highest rates. All right, so right off the bat, there's a good rate, but TQL, you never know. That they usually don't offer very good rates. That's Total Quality Logistics, this one on the top. But yeah, that's a very good rate there. Can make you $10,000 in about 3.5 days there. I'm just gonna flip through here so you guys can see the rates. Flip past us. A lot going to Oregon. Utah, another. That's pretty good rate for going to Utah, and Utah's not a bad area to get freight out of either. So can make a good out and back doing that one. Wyoming, not a great place to get loads coming back from, but let's flip past this. Keep in mind that we're looking out. It's just, there's actually one picking up today, Christmas Eve, going to Sparks, Nevada. Now, being Christmas Eve, I would definitely go up on that rate because that's a heavy load going up into the mountains there. Flip past this a little bit, get down here, some shorter runs if I can. Some going out east to West Virginia. Columbus, Ohio. Now that's not a bad rate. You know, it's not gangbusters. It's $3 a mile, but you are going to Ohio, and you can just about go anywhere from there. That's a great freight market, and this one's only 9,000 pounds. So Landstar going into Florida, yeah, that's not a good rate, but somebody will take it trying to get home. But there you go, that's the DAT board.